Hi everybody!
Hi.
We are back again. We have a really beautiful celestial theme. I'm super excited for this celestial opal theme today. There's lots of fun techniques and painting. So we're going to dive right into that here soon. But first we're just going to let you know what's inside the full day loot, and I will pop that up right now.
Ainsley made the most amazing, gorgeous necklace today. I was actually freaking out. This one, I think I'm definitely going to be copying. Oops, sorry.
And then that's the full day loot at the top of the screen, cart 100. So much stuff, as always. Everything of today is inside of this, besides the paints. So if you want the paint set, if you don't already have all these paints at home, then that will be separate from the full day loot. You'd have to add that on. But still tons and tons of stuff in here. We have design mixes, we have multiple kits, we have a paint pendant pack, we have a art metal findings pack. We have a lot of great stuff, and also these really great clay paintable beads, and we're going to dive into that later today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's super fun to show and to do. But yeah, that is kind of the gist of today, and we can start showing you guys.
I haven't even seen your design mixes yet.
I did one of them, and then my mom did the other one.
Should I try and guess who did which?
Yeah.
Your mom did that one.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to tell.
They're so pretty, though. I love the colors. It was funny because we were painting with we were doing lots of painting for our Etsy that's coming, but we kept doing purples and aquas and blues, and that's like what today is too, so that's really cool.
So that's that. Oh, and do we want to switch to doing the half screen?
Oh, we can try it.
Because we talked about doing that, so just give me a second here, guys. And I'm going to actually change it to half screen so you actually can see our faces today. Can you just change the camera angle ever so slightly?
Sure thing.
Here's
Let
that.
me know. Tell me up, down.
Just move it up ever so slightly.
Do you want to try and get it so we could do like the table, or that won't work because it's probably too small of
A little too small of the area, but at least so they can see us.
How's that?
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be fine.
So here's our first design mix that will be inside the full day loot. Very sparkly and whimsical feeling. We'll pull this out later, but just giving you guys the
only
preview.
185?
No, 165.
165 for all 7 paints? Or
Yeah. Yes.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So there's
that
that.
Really great deal today.
That's amazing.
Here's our second design mix. This one has more of the golds of the celestial theme. Lots
That
of
is
cool
so
vintage
neat.
pieces.
I forgot about this, like, whatever you would call that. I wanted to say trident.
But
I
like
don't know
very
why,
Art
but-
Deco feeling.
So cool.
And then we have our lovely necklace kit here. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys so you guys get some detail here. Necklace and earrings.
Ooh, I love these little coin beads in yours, Angie, and that's really pretty. The little organic shaped ones.
We'll be
Ooh,
going
yeah.
over
You know,
how
your
to
mom put
rivet
some
this
things in
later.
there.
Oh,
too.
nice. So
So-
cool.
I did like the color mix and a few of the pieces, and then she sprinkled in some goodies too.
So cool. I kind of want to put that up to one of us. Your necklace.
Yeah, I'll do that in a second here. I was thinking that'd be a good idea too. Earrings here.
Gorge. Your technique is what inspired this bracelet that I did last.
Yeah, I love how that came out. I was thinking how
Right on the
amazing it
screen.
looks. Have to go a bit higher. Oh, did it freeze?
I don't know.
It froze for sure. Oh, there it
Okay.
goes. Now it's unfrozen. Sorry about that, guys. It froze on us for a second there.
I just took Ainsley's idea with slipping that large seed bead over the jump ring, and then just made a full chain, and all I did was just hang it like if you
On each side.
Yeah, on each side of the, you could tell, right? On each side of the loop.
So you can tell here it's on each side of the loop.
That was actually really fun and kind of meditative.
And it's not super hard because
No.
you're not having to wrap anything. You're
Yeah.
just opening and closing
was
jump
super
rings. I'm going to pull this up so you guys get that nice, get that nice large view here of what this looks like.
Or we could both put it up since you're wearing, here, let me take this one off. Since you're wearing a shirt up there and I'm not, so you can see it on skin.
So
and
this is the full length. I made sure to include lots and lots of chain. Looks great like this. I would wear it like this, but Mackie and I both like our necklaces shorter, so
super short.
we're choker girls, so.
Are you guys short necklace people or long necklace people?
That looks so good with your shirt, actually.
Does it? It does with that color.
You wouldn't,
It's so
I wouldn't
gorgeous.
expect those colors to go together that well, but they really do.
And then the length, you can go all the way down to that length, which is awesome as well. And obviously you could add a bit more and do a really cool, super long one.
drippy.
It still hangs so beautifully when it's,
Straight.
when it's straight. It still has a really gorgeous swoop.
Julie said that she likes both, and Lisa Mack said long, long, long.
Okay, that's awesome.
I like layered. So from choker all the way down to, your belly button, and then we're good.
Pretty.
Kitty
That's
says short.
that.
That's
Short, nice.
Okay. Now we also have a bracelet and ring stack combo kit here. So we have these two rings.
Pretty.
Which I will show you what I did to get that look. And then this bracelet, also utilizing just threading the bead through a jump ring. But these are the Hishi beads through just like a normal JR20.
Oh, cute.
So
Love that. Oh,
very
did you-
simple.
Oh, I see what you did. I didn't know if you replaced the small ring with the jump ring, but
No,
that's
I
cute how
didn't.
that
I just
hangs
thread
off.
it through.
I love that we kept doing that technique. It's so pretty.
And then this bracelet here, which I painted, of course. And then this here, and I'll show you how to get this later as well. We have so many techniques to show today, guys. Like, we're full party.
I'm gonna let you keep going. I may have to go feed Rocco for a sec. Let me center you on the screen. And then I'll be back.
We can probably, if it's just Ainsley too, do the third,
Third size?
third size.
Yeah, whatever you guys
You
want
wanna
to
do that? That way she can have plenty of demo room.
Just give me 1 second.
Did that look about right for your head size, Ains?
Yeah, that seems right.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so now we also have this paintable kit, and you did this, right, Mackie? This paintable one?
Yeah, me and Mom.
Okay. With these really cute, very beautiful paint techniques. Look how amazing this is. This piece got super transformed. Look at this piece. This is such a cool piece to paint. And I loved this pairing here. Little crystal accent. And look at this. So pretty. And we also have these down here. And these as well. These are such a cute stack. These are really cute earrings.
I love what she did with the rhinestone chain.
I think so. I
Yeah.
did something, guys, that's really fun, a cool technique to do, and I think she got inspired from what I did.
Oh, here, if you want to show too, are you still going through the loot?
Yes.
Okay, so when we get to this, we can show everything that comes in it.
Yes.
Because it's a lot of great stuff. But go ahead, sorry, I interrupted you. You did this really cool technique.
I did a cool technique with the rhinestones, and I think she got inspired after she saw me using them the way that I did.
Don't you love that?
Yeah, it's super fun to see. Because I'm like, oh, I influenced this. This is cool. So that's everything there for all that paintable stuff. And we also, I know some people were asking for the art metal. And so we did bring you an art metal findings pack. So, ear wires, jump rings, super long head pins. This is longer than my finger, basically. Like, that's long. So this is perfect for doing cool wrapped loops or for large beads. These are really great. A nice clasp and large jump ring. And then, give me 1 second, I need to get more display space for you guys. This is the unpainted version of our clay bead kit. We are going to transform these like crazy, guys. You will not believe it. Like, what they come out after is insane. So this is what comes inside of that. These really cool, large, impactful beads, which honestly I love because I want to use all of these for the chunkiest bracelet ever. I just think that'd be super cute and like has so much dimension, which is really great for a cool outfit.
I think
having
it's
a lot of
amazing
dimension.
how you transform these.
It is. Were you able to find that anywhere?
Not yet. That the other examples, which you can see on the live shop.
Right.
And did we run through how to shop if anybody is new here? The 2 ways to shop.
So
here they are. Actually, they're right in the tray. So let me grab those.
Oh, weren't we gonna say that somebody could get the painted version or no?
Not this
one.
The demo ones we could do, but not the master ones. This doesn't come in there, so.
There we go, guys. Oh, what happened to the pearl ones?
They weren't with this set, but that's okay because you're gonna demo them.
Yeah. So look at what this is what this was before. This is an entirely different bead, guys. Like, this is crazy. Look at the difference is crazy. But look how magical this is. We really definitely wanted to bring you that really cool celestial feel. And so this is going to be so, so fun. The thing is about this technique that both me and Wendy found from trial and error is that it's one that you really do want to have the heat gun for. So if you don't have one of those, if you drop that link, Mom, in the comments for them, you're definitely going to want to get them for this technique. Otherwise, it's just not going to come out quite the same. And it would take a very, very long time, and it's not going to be very satisfying. I'm a pretty patient person, but even that would be a lot for me to do. So definitely one you're going to want a heat gun for, and obviously a resin lamp, because resin is very integral to this process as well.
Do you think you could get away with a hair dryer? A nice hair dryer?
Probably, but as long as you used it, if you had like a low setting, it probably would be pretty similar.
I feel like most people have heat tool.
True.
Look at this one, guys. Before and after, very different. Just look at how that shines. Like, I want to dive right into here. You can see that iridescent violet popping through. Gorgeous.
I feel like, so there was an inspiration piece that we had, and I feel like you guys, that was like an opal, like a deep blue opal. I feel like you captured that so beautifully with this paint collection.
Yeah.
The color combo is just magical.
But yeah, this is going to be so much fun. I really enjoyed this process a lot.
So I just dropped in the comments a link to our blog, and it has a list of resources in there so you can find the heat tool, the lamp that we like to use, and if they've gone out of stock on Amazon, it usually will suggest you a very similar piece.
Yeah.
So, because they you know, inventory levels can fluctuate, so
Yes.
we don't
So-
have a lot of control over that.
That's everything that's in that, right? I'm not missing anything?
I think that there were 7 items, and I think you went
1,
through everything
2,
that's in
3,
the loop, so we can
4,
start
5.
looking at them
Yep.
individually.
Perfect.
So what do we want to start with? What is everybody most excited to see today? Should we dive in with riveting for the focal kit? Should we do, what do you want? What do you want to do first, Ainsley?
I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, so maybe let's start with your
If we
jewelry
start
kit.
with the riveting, it's going to be better because
Yeah.
then I'm not going to have paint on
That's
my
kind of
hands.
what I was thinking.
Here's this.
And yes, I did. Peggy said that she's glad I got my voice back. I would say it's about like 90% there, right? It still has a little bit of rasp to it, but
Yeah. Well,
in
guys,
the morning it's like,
guys,
hello.
Corian on Friday, she was like, oh, are you going to do the live with me today? Do you want to do it with me? Because now that she's taken more ownership over that. And I was like, I really would, but I don't have a voice at all. Like, I could barely talk, so.
It's real. It's been making our rounds today.
So,
you know?
but I am finally better. So if I was a little bit not as cool last week, it's because I was actually sick.
Oh,
So,
sorry, I'm like reaching in front of you too.
It was because I was actually sick, so that's why I'm so much more preppy and fun today.
You're preppy or peppy?
Both.
Both, right?
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys, so I don't know how much you guys watch social media, but there's a thing about how preppy means something different today. It's not like what you think of in the 80s preppy. It's like the younger kids have a different definition for preppy. It's completely different.
What's the definition?
It's like, it's more of like a general term versus a like a style genre. Yeah, I know, right? And so it's like, no, I'm not that old, am I? But there's different meanings that you don't know what they are.
Somebody gave me very long rivets, or maybe I gave myself.
Oh,
very
I
long.
did. I gave them too, because I wasn't sure what length you needed.
They were the short ones.
Yeah.
The opposite. You put the opposite spectrum
I
in
can
here.
get you some short
Okay.
ones if you want.
You guys have seen this a million times, but we're gonna do it again. Can you get me a file though, and some short ones?
Sure thing.
But we're just gonna go like this.
Oh, did you see Kimmy's comment?
Let me see. 1 second. Vintaj has turned me into a hoarder with the paints and cutting techniques. I no longer get rid of things that I thought I didn't like. LOL.
Yeah, right? You can just change the way they look.
So we're just doing a little bending back and forth, and then we're gonna file those edges.
Okay. There you go.
You
So
can just set those.
diving into a little bit more involved technique, but it's really the way Ainsley constructed this is magic, and I wanted to make sure that you guys got to see that today. I wouldn't worry about like getting those perfect for the demo.
I'm not. I'm just getting it so I don't accidentally slice myself or something
When
bad.
will the one and done paint be back in or be in? Don't like it when they change the transitions. So we are still working on perfecting the packaging, and so we're just making sure that it's all sealed tight because it's coming in a larger container. So we're all just waiting to for that development to finish so that we can release it for you guys.
Yep, because that's our only sticking point because we don't want you guys to get a box full of paint.
That's
We
not
want
in the
want you to
container.
get containers full of paint, not boxes full of paint. Believe it or not. We want you guys to have the best experience ever, and so it's taking us longer than we would prefer, but I guess it's just extra anticipation for you. We're building up the hype in a way, not by choice.
Aren't all the things so pretty today? Stephanie said those big beads are amazing, just like the Milky Way.
I'm gonna pop up this necklace kit here for a second, in case you want to grab an extra one besides the full day loot, or just get the kit.
Linda, you did not miss out. We're putting a pause on it until it's perfect. Oh, and you popped up the kit that you're working on right now?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
changed it over just now so that
Perfect.
they have that opportunity. I do prefer to keep the full day loot up there until it's gone.
Sure.
Do you know how many we have today? Because I know our bead kits
Yeah,
are a
I'm
little
not sure.
limited.
I think Sawyer is keeping track of how many are in stock of each of the things, so he will let us know if we don't need to have that up.
Okay. One thing I do want you guys to be cognizant of is one of the holes is already punched in there for you. So we're gonna make sure that we're punch this hole, our second hole, in the correct spot, because otherwise it could mess it up. If we're looking here, and then we line it up with my piece, we have a point with the hole, point, and then the next one. So point with the hole, point without, and then we add the hole to the next one. So we're just gonna hole punch in this next hole here. I'm gonna flip it around. I kind of prefer doing it on the other side. And I'm gonna look at this really closely for 2 seconds to line it up nicely.
Sorry about the background water noise.
So now that I have that lined up, just gonna punch through like butter, easy, and then twist and lift.
Ooh, Corian says she's working on some gorgeous things for Friday.
Exciting. Okay. Now, our next hole is gonna be inside of the stem of this branch. We're gonna do that same process. Make sure you don't get it too close to the edge here, otherwise that will be problematic. But we're just gonna punch right through here. This will be a really easy one to punch. I'm just gonna line it up off camera really quickly here. And then punch after I have it lined up. And sometimes if I have two of the same piece and I'm wanting to punch holes, I just like to use this as a guide. So I just line this piece up over the other one.
Slide that under the door.
And then punch through, and now they're exactly the same. And just twist this off.
It's gonna make your mouth numb.
So I'm not gonna do the other holes with you today, but I will show you exactly where all the other punches are. So we have punch here and here in the leaves, and it just strings through to this little spot. And then punch here and here in the leaves again, strings through to the spot. And then two more down here to dangle off these beads. So you have 1, 2, 3 more punches per leaf. So you'd punch here, here, and here.
Love the way all of those pieces connect.
Don't they seem like they like belong together even though they
do.
100% didn't come that way?
I love using that piece in half too.
Yes.
Matthew might have been the first one to do that.
Raise this a little bit. I'm just gonna center the flower so you know where the center is.
I'm just
Yeah, that and
threading.
half face all the time.
Yeah.
No.
This rivet here. I don't think you got me the right size.
Which one do you need? Longer?
No, it's just about the width. Because it's not going through the hole.
Just use the longer ones then. Those are our normal size.
Okay, let me see what you got there. Can you just use one of these?
Are those skinnier? I
Let's
might.
see, what's that?
Sometimes if
This-
it's not fitting, you can go like this, and I just need to go through
This
the other
isn't a
side.
rivet, that's why.
Okay.
Or there's some other ones mixed in.
Yeah, there are the ones mixed in. So just make sure you use the natural brass one.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, our rivets are made to fit with the hole punch size.
Right, so it must not be the right thing.
Yeah, she's got good ones there though.
Okay,
She
great.
just picks the right one.
Yeah, I think there were some of the kind of the ones that you can flatten out, which they're like machine rivets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
Were mixed in there maybe.
So I'm just threading this through the 2 holes. And then I'm going to line it up nicely. So this branch here in the center just goes along the edge. So I'm going to make sure this goes along the edge here, like so. It's following that line. Move these out of the way. Pop over our hammer.
Can you show again where that's lined up just on screen?
Yeah. Along the line here. Right along the edge. Flip it over. Reposition this the best that I can. And then I'm just gonna hammer right on top of that little.
I feel like a riveting is kind of like a little bit at a time, right? You just mushroom it out a little bit more.
And if you don't have it lined up, if you adjust it before you get it super tight, it's going to be better. So if you just get it kind of on there and do it a little bit and then flip it around and then reline it and then do it, it will work that way too.
That's a great tip.
But you have to do it before it gets super tight.
Because once it's solid, it's
But
not
this
going
is
anywhere.
super secure right now. I'm pulling both ways and it's not moving one bit. Do the same thing for the other side. Just threading it through off camera so I can see.
So Debbie is asking, why do you hammer on top of the other one?
What does she mean by that?
I'm trying to decipher what that means. Did you flip it and then hammer?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so she's probably asking why.
I just think it looks a little cleaner with the other side on it, personally.
Yeah.
That's
So
just
they could
personal
do it-
preference.
you
You
could-
could do it the other way for sure.
Yeah, you could put the riveted side on top. It hides maybe a little bit more, but that's personal preference.
Just making sure we have this nice and aligned here.
Sorry. The sibling rivalry is strong with this one, if you're reading the comments.
Guys, if you want to know what Sawyer is like, he called both Mackie and me losers yesterday before he left.
True.
Only Mackie and me, not his mom and not Scott or anybody else.
Was it
Just
losers? Did I say another word or was it losers?
it was something along those lines.
Yeah.
Said with the utmost love and affection, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah, of course. We were just talking about teasing being a love language for like
Yes, it is.
in its own way.
It's true. I find when I'm the least stressed, I'm the most sassy.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Look at that.
So
Nice and
Peggy's asking
crisp.
about the diameter of the rivets. They are made to fit a 1.5 millimeter hole, so I would imagine they're just slightly smaller than the 1.5 millimeter hole punch. So the hole punch and the Vintaj rivets are designed to go hand in hand.
Then all you would do is once you have these other hole punches in there is you just connect those pieces. And I did use our iridescent, I believe aqua. Yeah. Iridescent aqua and painted it all over the centerpiece, this piece here, and this piece. These three, everything besides the chain, got it on it. But it looks great without it. It looks great with it. You could totally paint these pieces. This focal piece would look amazing painted. I even considered doing it, but I thought it looked amazing without it. And so that is 100% optional that you guys totally can do that. And it will look fabulous.
Lori says, I don't waste my time abusing people I don't like.
That's good.
I think Ainsley, you and Kieran, who's Corian's brother, used to have the, like more of like a sibling kind of,
We were
Riveting.
lethal to each other.
I can see that.
But neither of us ever crossed the line though. I do have to say. My older brother, when he would try and roast me, would cross the line all the time. But Corian's brother never did.
No.
Maybe she did something to him because he did it to her.
she like put
She
the
whipped
fear
him into
him.
shape or something.
You've had much practice throughout your life, for sure. My siblings and I are all 50 plus, and we still pick on each other, especially my sister and I picking on our brother.
Oh, nice.
And this piece here, you have to set this yourself, but we've done this a million times in our lives. This Rivoli is our most like basic and setting that we do. We've done this a ton of times. We love pairing these two together. Very simple. Fold up the two sides, set your stone, fold up your three sides, set your stone in there, and pinch them down. There's definitely videos of doing this technique back in other lives. And that is everything for this piece. I'm just going to show you a couple of things here.
Can you share a little bit of your inspiration behind
This?
this one? And
Yeah.
how do you
Hey,
pronounce
Mackie,
the
do
name?
you have your phone? Actually, can you pull up that picture I sent you?
Oh yeah, I'll come bring it over.
And this is called Lyra Descending because we wanted to do a constellation themed
So what is
pieces.
this? I'm not familiar with that constellation.
Do you remember what the constellation was what we chose behind that? Do you want to look that up?
Liked the name.
We
It's
liked
pretty.
it. We liked the name, but we also liked like whatever like.
It meant.
The backstory.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I love all the art that's like around the zodiac. I find it really beautiful. All the illustrations and artwork.
You keep going and then I'll just pop it on.
And then I'm just going to show you guys these earrings again really quickly. Very simple. You're just threading these seed beads through these hoops here.
Okay.
And so this is the photo that I pulled inspiration from. You can see the gold and the blues and the purples in there. Very celestial, very rich colors. I wanted to give you guys a lot of rich colors. I know we did the greens before. And I wanted to do something very polar opposite feeling. Very luxurious feeling. But these are very simple earrings to make. You're literally just stringing jump rings through.
Feels very Klimt inspired.
Absolutely. But that is everything for this. Look how beautiful all of our goodies are.
Should we do, maybe you want to go through your bracelet stack next before we go on to the paint? Because that can kind of transition in
the
that
bracelet stack / ring stack is also paint.
Right. So I think we can transition.
We can transition to that, and I can talk about the construction of the pieces.
Let me just move this, and then we can just scooch that down. So pretty. Yeah, Monica, I think so too. She said those blues and purples are gorgeous.
And that is exactly why I chose to use them. So I was like, oh, these are so pretty. So, trying to zoom out a bit here. Just a tiny bit. You guys can get a better, fuller picture here. This bracelet is pre-assembled. All you're doing is adding paint. So that's literally all you have to do, add paint. This bracelet also pre-assembled besides this, so all you have to do is this resin and add a jump ring and attach it in the center. Very simple. So you're just getting all the fun parts. Is literally you just get to do the painting part. This bracelet, all you have to do is string these he-she beads through these jump rings. As you can see here, there is a little ring connecting these two strands. That's how the chain comes. And you just thread your jump ring through that with the he-she bead. And you do that 6 times. And then you just do a simple loop on this piece here and thread it through. And add your clasps. Very easy, very simple, very cute. Give you guys a kind of a feeling. I'm actually just gonna pull this up here and loosely stack them over my wrist so you guys get it
Put this
better.
bracelet stack link up top if you haven't already.
Oh, yep, sorry about that, guys. This is Orion's belt, bracelet, and ring stack. And so you guys get a better feeling of what the stack can look like here. I don't have them properly on, but there we go. A little more in focus. And then the rings are here. So your ring is actually going to start out that color that you see on the inside. And we paint and resin this to get this really cool effect here. And then we also do that same effect, just small scale on the middle here. And then I also went with the iridescent aqua around the rims and resin.
So because we're a little bit, we have text that goes over the bottom sometimes. Can you show what you're currently showing a little bit more center screen?
What? I don't know what you're seeing though.
Just like if you can go like up here. A
Yeah, I
little more.
moved myself up a bit,
Yeah.
but I'll just move it up higher too. So that's what that looks like. Very mood ring feeling, without the effect though. It's not a mood ring.
It's always the mood, right?
Yes.
I would
the
always,
mood.
I had one of those mood rings when I was in middle school, and I would always like run my hand under hot water to get it to change, because my hands are always very cold, so it was always like black, because I didn't produce enough body heat to get it to color change. So yeah, I much would have preferred this one.
I loved mood rings as a kid. They're just like special, you know? It's just like kind of like one of those like magic things as a kid.
Lynn says, I think painting on leather is my new favorite thing.
Me
The
too.
metallics and iridescence just make it so magical, don't they?
So that is everything in that. So I'm just going to move some of our paint stuff over now that we're to this painting point. Just give me a second here.
Are you going to do the beads or the paintable set first?
Well, I was going to do our bracelet since we were on that.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Rolling away, guys.
Runaway bead.
Feels so quiet today.
I know. I'm trying to conserve my voice a little bit so I don't have a coughing fit.
And Sawyer and I are trying to comment on everyone's comment. That's our goal this live.
Ooh. Lisa said abalone shell. What do you mean by that? Are you wanting to see a future kit like that? Or are you thinking that something looks like it? I'm wondering.
Give me 2 seconds here, and I'm just pulling these guys so that we have a nice much as the surface area as we can get.
I'm just gonna move this. There's quite a bit of wasted.
If I can get this to sit how I want it to. And I painted both sides of this just to let you guys know, just to have a nicely finished out piece. Okay, well, we're not gonna quite be able to get it, but that's fine. So, first things first is I used our neon coral. And I'm just gonna shake this up really quickly.
Oh, do you need a tip clearer?
That would be fantastic.
Okay, I will find something for you.
Don't forget to clip the top.
Most of them are clipped already. This one's just a little bent, so I'm just straightening it out for you. There you go.
So I start out with this neon coral color. I'm just going directly with the nozzle on top of it, really saturating it on the corner here. I'm going to take a small brush, dry, and then just blend it out. And then dab this color in here. Go over with another layer, really saturate that color.
Yeah, if you are on the masterclass, there's some great filigree wrapping classes. There's riveting classes. Like we go like a little bit further into depth. Riveting on leather, pretty much anything you can imagine.
Next, going in with our lapis color, blending it into this neon coral. And then blending it out over here. Then I'm gonna go in with our emerald. After I clear the tip. Right in the center.
It's nice how that ombre is together.
And then I'm just dabbing the edges again. And I'm actually gonna go right over this in a second here because I don't want it to be super green. And I'm going straight over it with the lapis. Just a nice little dab. And I'm blending them into each other. So you're still getting a different color, but just less green feeling and a little more blue-green.
Yeah, the key is definitely the overlap because that's what creates your ombre. If you don't you'll get little stripies.
Would you say that you need to move a little faster on the suede because it absorbs more of the color?
It does, but you can always go right over top of it again. It's not a huge deal. Just dabbing this in. We're just doing that same pattern in reverse. And then I'm gonna let this dry for a couple seconds and I'm gonna finish out the end here. This will be dry like 2 seconds here because I'm just shifting this bead since it's already threaded through and I'm pulling it to the other side. And then I'm just going in with our final step, the neon coral. And we would repeat this whole entire process on the other side. So really dabbing, dabbing, dabbing here. Get it nice and blendy. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more here on the edge to super saturate it.
You're almost creating a loop of color because it's the same color.
So that
on both
is
ends.
our little technique here. That's how we get that color scheme. And then we would just do that same process on the other side. But for sake of time, I'm not gonna do that here with you guys because you now know what the process is. Super easy to do.
I love that. I could do a million of those.
It's a super fun process because it's just super simple and satisfying.
And that bracelet, that particular one in the kit comes finished like that, correct?
Yes,
So
I
that
said
already
that
has the
earlier.
ends
So
on it.
it's already finished. All you're doing is adding paint, which is why I was sliding the bead over to the side because it is pre-finished. Okay. Next, we're gonna do this awesome pendant here. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys. I don't really have to move around very much. And all I'm gonna do first is I am just pooling colors in here. Doesn't really matter what this looks like, but it's just a really good foundation. And then I'm just gonna stir it around, pop any bubbles.
So lapis, emerald, and neon coral so far.
Yep. You're not really gonna see this later, but it's just a good base. Grab a tissue to pop those bubbles. And then this is where you're gonna want a heat tool because waiting for that to dry would be a pain in the butt. Definitely doable. You can wait for this one to dry, but it's just a bigger pool, so I'm just gonna hit it with the heat tool.
Plus it's satisfying, right?
Know that that's plugged in all the way. There we go. And there is a paint kit for this Peggy.
We could probably pop that on for a second so that we have the part number.
you're gonna start to notice some bubbling. That's completely okay. You do want that texture, so we're just gonna keep going with it while it bubbles, and that's making sure that the underneath of this paint is dry because we don't want it to be stuck in there wet.
Lisa says, ooh, planets. I'm thinking she's thinking that's what your color combo looks like right now.
It definitely does. It does. I was noticing while I was doing it last time. Very much so.
I always thought it would be amazing to see the Earth from space, but nothing else about going to space appeals to me. It seems very claustrophobic and anxiety producing to be in a small, like, little capsule like they had.
Yeah.
Oh, I would die. I was just talking about that because we were at the museum with, like, the kids' museum, and they had a little spaceship. And I'm like, I think I would die in this.
I would like also just not being able to go outside. Can you imagine?
Right? No.
Always being contained in something.
We went to
So this is super hot at the moment. I'm just gonna let it cool off for a second, and then we're gonna add resin right over top of this, and we're gonna
While we
start
let that
the
cool,
cool process.
Do you mind if I quick show Debbie how to wrap this
Oh,
Rivoli?
go ahead. That just fills up our time nicely. So
That's great
Okay.
bonus material too for anybody who hasn't learned
Yeah.
how to do this yet. Perfect.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Mackie.
I am back. I had to nurse Rocco. That may happen somewhat often, although I could probably get a bottle ready for him. Whoops. Okay, so this is our F20, which it fits in almost perfectly with the classic Rivoli size, what size is it? I think I want to say 8 millimeter.
12 millimeter.
Oh, 12
I think 12 is our standard one.
standard. Okay. Wonder why I thought 8.
Corinne
That's
will
weird.
know. If she's on here listening, she'll know which millimeter
She
it
was
is.
on.
She is like, she's got the numbers and the dimensions down for everything.
Okay, so I like to think of this in terms of, like, I always go based off of the kind of attributes on the filigree. And this has 2 little holes right there. Well, technically 3 on the end of that little triangle. And so I just split the 2 holes that kind of start that triangle portion of the filigree. And then I do that on 3 of the sides and just do little 90-degree angles. And you can just pinch, and don't worry about curving it. You basically just make a straight line. Dang, that thing got hot. It's like heating up my fingers just by being by it. That's hilarious.
that's how I was like, we're gonna let it cool off for a couple
Yeah,
of
we'll
seconds.
let that
I don't know what's gonna happen to the resin with it being so hot like
let's
that.
let that chill for a sec.
It would probably like
It starts
bubble,
boiling,
boil trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, and then basically all I'm doing, hang on, let me zoom this out. I'm trying to stay within that teeny little space, and I need a little more space to move my arms. Okay, and then you just pinch it down, which you can take either side. I kind of go from either side of that point and then crimp it. Can even probably wrap it down even more, so pull.
Oh, I like your nail polish, Mac. It's cute.
With all the junk on it.
No, it's just my back. I'm rolling it out from sitting there for so long.
If people could
that's
see
interesting.
what's going on in the background.
That's interesting sit-up for me, Ainsley.
Yeah, this is how I do all my sit-ups.
It's like,
Just
have
don't
you ever
punch at all, just swing.
Really
your full
excited.
body.
you ever seen like people using gym equipment really wrong?
Oh, yeah,
Reels
yeah.
kind of thing.
So
We're
funny.
like, don't you like my sit-up form?
It's like watching like I know CrossFit's a different thing, but like sometimes it's like watching them do certain workouts. 'Cause,
Right.
like,
It looks a little.
it looks a
Little
little
funny.
funky when that's not what you're used to, you know.
Did that help at all, Debbie? hopefully she was watching when
Yeah,
we
I think
did
so.
it.
And anybody else, right? It's good to have a refresher. And I think each time somebody else teaches it, because, you know, we've had Corian has done it, Ainsley's done it, you've done it, your mom has.
We all have our own different ways,
Well,
kind
you
of
all
thing.
have little different tips that you talk about, right?
True that. Okay, Ainsley, I'm done, and your thing feels like it's cooled down. So
And your
Perfect.
back's all like stretched out now, so you're good.
It's rolled out.
I was really
Rolled
tempted
out.
to switch the camera around, but I didn't. For your sake.
Nobody needs to see that.
I was
You're
over
welcome.
here about to post it to DIY.
BTS.
TT.
BTS on
Yeah.
DIY and Vintage. If we had another person that could just go around taking random shots, that would be funny.
I
Be real.
know. I know.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a little bead in the center here, and I'm using my head pin. Just spread it out.
Honestly, it is kind of something to consider, though, guys, is because we can attach more than one camera to that, right?
Yeah,
So we
sure.
could
Yeah.
have like
Another view.
another view of like just what's going on or what you're doing. You know, like another angle of
Yes.
like when you were painting that bracelet just then.
Yes.
I could have had it more just where you were painting. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
I'm gonna hit this
So
with the
Debbie has a question for you, Matt.
resin.
Oh.
Make you not look at that.
Oh, 100%, Debbie. The 3 corners
Yes.
is all you need. We always just tension wrap with
And
filigree.
you can even do 2 corners and it will stay
Yeah,
as
for
long as
sure.
it's enough tension.
Yep. And it's all about the angles and physics, which is the only real physics that I know is wrapping. Wrapping jewelry.
Now make
We know
sure
it works.
your mom's a physics expert
Yes,
then.
she is. But I will say, Ainsley, we're getting pretty good at wrapping.
That's true.
Closely
Girls are
approaching
rocking it.
mom.
I'm loving the prison break side combo that everybody's having here.
Yeah. Apparently Peggy's digging her way out of prison with the kids' baby spray.
Whatever I had to do, you know that I'd be trying to get out of there. I don't like some confined spaces.
Oh gosh.
I was talking to your dad about that, like, you know, how our house kept getting bigger, the one in Illinois,
Mhm.
because I just need, like, with every kid, I needed more space.
Mhm.
It was like more like, I feel like it was mental health more than physical health, because I just needed that the breathing room.
Room of us not being on top of everyone.
Oh man.
I think your thing's done, Ains, because when you have a small amount of resin, you don't actually need to go as long. It does kind of coincide with how much resin you put in your piece. So that's kind of nice when you have less in there. Ainsley, you look like super 80s today.
Oh, I tried to do very on theme celestial feeling
colors
makeup,
definitely go.
Yeah.
sparkly action.
The bangs and the eyeshadow are 80s looking, pushing 90s though. Late 80s.
Okay,
Put all the eras
Yeah.
together, right?
Also, the
pull this piece
emerald
on
is like the
screen.
exact color of your shirt, which is hilarious.
I mean, I knew this color would go with today's stuff, so
Yeah.
that's why I wore it.
Good.
So, where is my? Here it is.
This would look good as just a pendant. I want to put it on your. Where is that? There it is.
I'm gonna do our clocked tip again, our neon coral, and our pink. But the real star for this one is definitely going to be our iridescents. They really make this pop. A little pink here, our petalite, and then our lapis. I'm gonna swirl these around a bit till I'm happy. And we can keep repeating this process until we're happy with the way it's looking. And using the heat tool really adds that texture So I like using it for this because it adds a lot of texture. Pop these bubbles. This is a lot thinner paint, so we're not going to have to heat it as long. It's not going to get nearly as hot either.
So with each layer, you're building up the resin so that it creates kind of a thicker cabochon in it.
Yes. It's starting to bubble up and it's going to stick back down here in a second. And then I'll be able to pull it off.
I'm going to put this on you, Ace, so you can see a necklace on you while you are on screen.
Perfect.
Do you want to lift your hair up quick?
And then the most important part to get this like effect properly is we're gonna add resin, but we're gonna add a drop of our lapis to it. Make sure this is nice and spread. And I don't want a huge drop, just the tiniest little bit. More of a bubble. Just kind of lightly get some in there, not massively.
I think it's kind of cool how any stage of this creates a different, of this technique creates a different look.
And then we're gonna put that back under in a second here. Just spreading this out a bit more. And then we're gonna put this under now.
Guys, how's Sawyer doing? Commenting back to all your comments.
It looks like he's having fun in there.
Oh, good.
Also, it takes a little bit longer to cure when the paint is mixed in with the resin because it's mixed in with the resin. I don't know the science behind it. I was gonna go into a tangent, then I was like, wait, actually I don't know the reasoning exactly.
Oh, wait. Debbie was talking about the rivet?
No,
Oh, okay, good.
no, I think someone was thinking that that's what she was
Okay,
asking
okay,
about.
okay.
Because,
Good.
you know, we don't always do filigree wrapping on here. We don't always do riveting, but we talk about it a lot. A lot of our designs have that, so.
I was thinking we could do techniques that are advanced to sell on our Vintaj Etsy. Like, obviously the painting, but also wrapped
Yeah,
pendants, you know?
yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, did you guys know about our new Etsy? Have we told them about that?
Well, it's the same one that we've had our paint sets on, but
Right,
we're
but
gonna be doing
we're adding to it. So it's
Yeah.
not the same as just there's paint on there.
right. So like some pre-painted pieces, and you know you'll see some fun things start to pop up.
So
there.
you know how like you guys are like, oh, but I don't want to paint it. I can't do it quite as well.
Yeah.
You'll have the opportunity to buy finished painted pieces there if you aren't comfortable with your techniques yet as you practice along.
Yeah, we didn't quite announce it because we're just teaching like Taya how to list, and we're just getting started like with some products that we've made. So this is a little soft launch telling you guys about it.
Yes.
We're just not quite there yet, but we'll be soon.
We're almost done here. I'm gonna just see if this is dry yet. Test it out with my finger. Appears to be. Okay, so right now we have a very shiny texture that's gonna go away once we add our final layer of paint here, which is going to be our lovely magical iridescents. They're going to transform this, both iridescent aqua and iridescent violet. I'm just going to pour some out here on my mat after I mix them up. That is our iridescent violet. And this is our iridescent aqua.
Now that's kind of the same technique that you would do on the other two pieces from this, right? Very similar. Because I think we probably should move on to either the paintable set or the beads next after you're done with this cab.
What I'm going to do is I'm just layering this on here nice and thickly.
You're a little bit in the corner.
Oh, moved it on accident. Sorry, guys. Adding that violet now, just dabbing it in there. Nice thick layer.
Lisa says, do you find the UV resin reacts to the Colorful Soul paint and starts firming up? I feel like it's pretty non-reactive. I think it'll cure at different rates depending on how much paint you've put in there.
It's actually completely non-reactive to the UV resin, which is why we're able to do some of these techniques, is because the paint actually doesn't cure under the lamp.
Yeah.
Like you'll see that with the beads. You're doing the beads today, right?
Yeah.
So you'll see that they cure at different rates, which is why you're able to create these different looks and techniques.
Gosh, that looks magical, even like not dried yet.
So if you want it to be a little flatter, this one is a lot more puffy. You just don't use quite as much resin. I used less resin in this one. And it's going to look way madder once this paint is dry. It really mattifies it.
So pretty.
To create a really matte effect.
Love.
But yeah, that's that. Super easy, simple. We have the same kinds of things going on with this ring. The one thing with this ring is you're going to paint it with the colors, the iridescents, all that good stuff, a nice ombre. Base it with the normal colors, go over with the iridescents. And then after that, you're going to do a layer of resin around it. And you're going to, when you put it underneath, you're going to want to spin it the best you can. Like, use your finger to rotate like this. Otherwise, you're going to get it to pile to the bottom, and we don't want that.
So rotate it while you're
curing it. Otherwise, you're going to have a drip at the bottom from just hanging
You
there.
could, if you did get one of those, you could probably sand it and if you had
you
that
definitely
oopsie,
could.
right?
You definitely
It's
could.
recoverable, right?
And then after your resin, once it's thick enough, or how much you want it to be thick, because you can see this is definitely thicker, then we go over with our iridescents again to give it that matte look. Same thing that we did with our piece here on our bracelet.
Do you want to do the Galactic Comet beads?
Also,
or
same thing with this one.
the paintable set first? Which one do you want to do next?
We should probably do the paintable set because that's less messy than the galactic
All right.
beads.
Practical. I think there's this whole, if you want to pop this setup on screen, I think this is pretty much everything that comes in there.
Do you want me to sit in and kind of explain the things that we did?
That would
with
be
that?
Do you want to even do some of them?
Sure, I can do a couple
'Cause-
of them.
That'd be perfect.
I have not done any of this, so this is all brand new to me. I'm going to zoom out here, guys. And then we're just going to do a little water cleanup so I'm not leaving her with a mess.
Oh, you're fine. I'll just shift the mat. We don't need to make them watch our dirty work on screen.
And then I think that's popped up. Yeah, I have that popped up.
This really turned out beautiful, this collection of
Am I taller than you?
pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes she is.
You're an inch
Yes,
taller
you
than
are.
Can you move the
Yeah.
Your
We don't
torso
need-
is also probably taller
maybe
than
a little
You must have a
longer?
longer torso.
Because I'm higher in the screen. That's so funny.
How's that?
Much better. Although, actually, maybe a little more.
One more. How's that?
Yeah, that's good, I think. You guys can tell her maybe.
Oh, that's a great idea. Carrie Moore said this would be on the current bangle trend. You could for sure do this on bangles too. Your ring effect.
Okay, so actually the reason that I did this is because I saw a really cool bangle and we didn't have any thick bangles. So I was like, I'll just do it on a ring instead.
You can even do it, yeah, like on a plain one or, yeah.
Also, guys, Mackie, you should show them your glass.
My glass? Like that I'm drinking out of?
Yes, this.
Even though it's dirty.
Well, it looks
'Cause
so
I'm
cool.
afraid.
It reminds me of like what I was doing with the resin technique, like of just dropping the lapis in it.
Oh, yeah. Here's
That's
what.
great.
Do you want to hold it up actually for me while I clean
Fun
this?
inspirational things that you see that inspire your design work, right?
Oh, for sure. It's so funny because sometimes it's so subtle, like you don't even know that's what's happening. That's probably clean enough. Okay, so can you get me a little rock, like one of those smaller rock thingies? Or the slate slab things.
Like this?
The flatter one, sorry. So I can set some of the stuff on it
like
in the
this
corner.
kind of thing?
No, like the
Like one of the
Yeah,
these?
yeah,
Okay,
that.
okay.
tray, I guess.
Medium size.
Okay, gotta make it look pretty for you guys, like usual. That does not come in the kit, so I'll move that. So what did we end up calling this on the, do you guys remember?
I think it's shooting.
Yeah, shooting stars
Stars.
focal. That's what it says at the top of the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, Shooting Stars Focal Paint Pack. So it's really like things to paint.
All right. So,
Cindy says you look so pretty, Mackie.
oh, thanks. That's very nice. All right, I'm gonna get this little guy in the corner. So Mom wanted me, hopefully this turned out how you wanted, Mom. You haven't seen this yet, but she wanted me to make these look a little bit more like moons with craters. So I just took, they're already hammered a bit. And so I'm really just adding a couple more little divots on there. So making a little more cratery surface looking thing. Okay. Set that there. And then for that color, which I think that color is really amazing, I did both of the cool tone colors of the kit, which are the lapis and emerald. Fix this a little bit. So equal parts lapis, emerald, and then I actually added in dragon's eye as well. Okay, so I'm gonna mix these all together and it creates just this super gorgeous teal, really deep teal color.
Yeah, so Renee was saying, I didn't realize you could hammer a plated piece.
Yeah, we do a bit of flex plating on our plating styles, and just anything that's mild like that is pretty much fine. Obviously no like crazy bending of things. Wouldn't you say, Jean?
Yeah, I would say that most of the time it's gonna stay pretty. If you really really smack it, it might crack. But if you're pretty
Right.
ginger with it, it's not gonna it's not gonna crack the finish, which is great. Because and I think sterling and also the copper are softer, so those are easier to hammer into.
Sure, for sure.
Like, I want to say 1.5 to 2 years ago, we did that cool class where we imprinted designs into the stampings, where we hammered in fine, stampings into them, which it kind of lets me know that people haven't seen that technique. Maybe we should revisit that again.
I've not seen that technique.
You weren't here.
I also had done it for the retreat, like at Chestnut. Remember?
Yeah. Yes, a long time
So
ago.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really fun one. Okay, so I'm just doing it enough so it kind of pulls heavily in some of those crevices, and then you'll see there's those lighter green patches as well. So we'll let that dry, and then just gonna hit that with a reliefing block, and then Mom's cute little adorable little rhinestone she added to everything, which made everything look super special and unique.
I was watching how they made a metalsmith made a charm and then set a jewel into it, and how many hours worth of work it was.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, I'm so glad we can make things like this so much quicker and easier. You get like that instant satisfaction of getting your piece done. I have so much respect for those really long process artists, because I don't have the patience for it.
Okay, I'm gonna go through Mom's here, and don't you love how she added those rhinestones too? I thought that just bumped up the look of her pendant so much. But I think what she did here before the rhinestones was just pulled all of the colors, probably kind of directed them a little bit with the back of her paintbrush, and then added the resin on. Almost looks like while it was still wet, so then it was able to kind of suck up into the resin, and then it started to get that like 3D effect, which I don't know if we have time to do that, and especially because that's pretty much what's happening with the beads that Ainsley's about to show you. So you can just apply that technique to this piece as well. So that was really awesome how she did that. This one here, she also hammered just like what I just showed you, and then used most of the colors on this as well. But mostly the two I just used, along with petalite and iridescent violet, and then also added the rhinestones. What do you guys think about that? Isn't that so pretty? Those cute little rhinestones. Definitely heavily influenced by Ainsley's thing she was working on. I did this one. All I did here was I glued this Big Dipper pendant to the back of her, and I used our fabulous Loctite that we use all the time. And then I actually took the back and just did a little resin, just to really ensure that that was not going to go anywhere. Then on
hearts.
Oh, yay. Then on her, we've got both of the iridescents from the kit, and then lapis. Then I took a little bit of the lapis to kind of do a little vignette around the top side of that moon. Okay, let's see. Mom did this one. I wasn't paying attention when she did it. Sorry. But it looks like the same thing, just a bit of each of the colors, and then ending with the white gold on top. and then kind of going a bit lighter. So you could do a little wipe after you pool all of those colors on your two pieces here. You can wipe and then end with a little bit of highlighting with that white gold, which is so gorgeous. It's really turns into like a insane champagne color. In fact, I've been using just white gold over top of our solid brass, and it turns everything into this insanely gorgeous champagne color, which I'm actually gonna do because we have a piece in the kit that is solid brass. I really have to show you just how gorgeous that color is. Something about how it works with the brassy tones, it just creates the most gorgeous finish. So get your super dry paintbrush as always. There's like cute little birds out on the porch that I keep just getting distracted by. All right, I'm gonna hold this up and just, if you're ever getting like noticing that your coverage isn't great, it's probably because your paintbrush is too wet still, which this definitely is. You really have to pinch it and get all of, especially when you're doing a dry brush technique. We are not joking around when we're saying dry brush. It has to be the driest. So this is kind of like a dry brush technique when you're changing the finish color. I would even consider doing like a Etsy page where you just take all solid brass because it's a less expensive metal, and then just finish it all and just have a full like champagne page of just that finish. It would be so cool because that color is just so stunning. Anyway, you can already see that difference. I'll show you on this lady. It's just the solid brass and then the white gold. You can tell the difference already. I'd probably do one more layer. It all depends on the type of piece you're painting. When it's more like flat and has more surface area, you don't need to do as many layers, but since this one's a bit stubborn with all the little openings, you have to do a couple layers. But you can already see that kind of just mutes that tone. Super gorge. Love that. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that I could just show quickly. Let's see here.
Stephanie's saying she also loves adding crystals and rhinestones to the projects.
Oh my gosh,
It's nice to
so
have
pretty.
that sparkle, right?
Just a fun, yeah, it's such a fun moment, and it makes everything look way more expensive, I think.
Carrie's saying color again, please. What are you asking?
Like what color? Are
Maybe
you
to, maybe to say what the color is?
Oh, this white gold. Hopefully that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe
That's just white gold. Yeah.
You might wonder why we have the fill and the Laura says the filigree.
Yeah, that's kind of like a filigree since it has a lot of open
Yeah.
work. Okay, Ainsley is taking a small break, so I'm just gonna maybe show how to do this quick because that was really pretty. These, you'll either get a antique brass color or antique silver. And that's the only one that's going to be potentially different in the kit that you get. So I'm going to, oh wait, should I show this or should I show the moon maiden? Do you have that maiden over there, Jean? Remember the periwinkle? There was this, and
the
then
one
I
that you did
painted
with
it.
it on top of it. It was sitting out yesterday
What does
with
it look like?
that stuff.
Oh, you were just holding it though this morning. This, remember?
Oh, her. Yes, that one. Lady Liberty or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, do you guys want to see me paint this, which she is not part of the set, but we have this going up on Etsy soon, so I was gonna give you guys a sneak peek on how to do that paint finish on top of silver. Or would you like to see this really cool hammered one that Mom did? You can say Star Maiden or Oval. Whoever comments first, I'll listen to you.
So if you have a preference, speak up.
Yeah, quick speak
Or
up.
forever hold your peace.
Yes.
How often do you think that happens? Somebody objects to the wedding. I feel like that'd be funny. Just like I wonder if
I feel like just in movies.
I wonder if anybody's ever hired somebody to do that just to make
For
their
drama.
wedding more dramatic.
I'd do that. Looks like we got a maiden first.
Oh, maiden, oval, focal. Is she on the main site? She is not.
Yeah, so you'll have to come to our Etsy if you want her, because she is so gorgeous. Okay.
So she was cast from an original, very old, out of production stamping.
So I'm going to use all of these, all of the warm tones to create her base. And we're really just going to super heavily just pour them all over.
Now these
Her.
are all the colors from our set today, correct?
Correct.
The paint set. Now if you need a breakdown of what the colors are, you can go to the live shop and click into the description and it'll tell you all the colors we're using today.
Which I'll tell you the color each time I put it on. So this is white gold. So I was kind of just doing a swoop around her head. I'm going to start with white gold, which I guess the order does kind of matter a little bit with this one, even though it'll kind of swirl and do its own thing. Then petalite, white gold petalite. Then we'll pop in some of that neon coral. Just little hints.
Actually also really love the filigree that Ainsley's wearing, that you put the...
Oh yeah, I just did the ombre effect on that
so
one.
Pretty.
Then I'm taking the dragon's eye and just kind of doing all the rest of it with that all around the outside. So all the warm tones. And this was funny because Mom, I guess there is one cool tone in this stuff, which is the iridescent aqua. Mom thought that it looked really one-dimensional after it all kind of dried together for whatever reason. I think all of the colors just work really well together. But when you go back in, it's like kind of like a magical moment. When you go back in with the lapis and white gold at the very end after this step is dried, it actually just magically makes it. Actually, I want to use something to prop up under this. I'm going to use the back of this hammer maybe so I can keep it.
Sometimes like a little rock or a pebble is
Yeah,
good for
those are
that.
That works. I got
got
it. I just wanted to dry it with the heat tool since this one does take a little bit of time to dry. So I'll probably just heat tool it.
And also remember, the heat tool does swirl the paints a little bit.
Yes.
So like if you don't want the paints to move, they'll move a little bit if you air dry it. But they'll move a lot more if you're doing the heat tool.
Sometimes that can work to your advantage.
Yes.
Especially
Yes.
if you want it to be more subtle,
True
like you don't
that.
want it to be like super heavy coverage.
With this one, it's gonna swirl so much on its own anyway that it's fine to use the heat tool. I've also noticed, hopefully you guys can still hear me, but I've also noticed that using the paints on top of our plated, like really heavily plated pieces, it takes a little tiny bit longer to dry, which is interesting. It's funny how our natural brass just really perfectly soaks up the paint.
I feel like it's a little bit more porous and there's a little bit more grip to it.
Yeah, I could see that
it
grippiness.
It doesn't slide off. Even the difference between natural brass and solid brass is that way too, because the process just makes it a little bit more open.
Sure.
And to have more grip.
I'm always fine with it when it bubbles like that. Sometimes I'll push it until it all bubbles because it'll kind of do this thing where it all bubbles up and then fuses right back down to the pendant. Okay, that's probably good. I'm gonna let that cool off though. When you do a paint dry, it will make your piece super duper hot when you're using the heat tool. And so if you go right in with paint again, it can do just a different effect. I'm really wanting it to just lightly go over in a smooth coat. So we're gonna make sure to let that cool down just for a bit. And while I let that cool, I'll set her there. We'll relief these cute little moon guys. Do I have a relief block? I don't know if I had.
I don't know that we
you wanna
set
grab
one
me
now.
one
I
from-
can grab it.
Perfect, thank you. Let's see.
Stephanie says, I love the way the maiden's face pops out. So cool. And Renee says, it's a
I love
split
it too.
decision. Looks like
Thank
you
you.
have to do both, Mackie.
Oh my gosh, how about this? I'll cut you guys a deal since we still have to do the craziest technique of the day. Let's, if there's time after Ainsley's done, I will do it, but
We'll save it for the end.
save it for the end if there's time.
But also, this is me we're talking about, and I have time blindness, so you guys are, it's a real risky business for you trusting me.
I'll crack the whip if I have to.
All of a sudden you hear, whoosh.
Go!
Or maybe you're gonna be like one of those teachers
Yes.
with rulers on the desk.
We should come up with a little like message for me to get to you. Like
What would be even funnier?
would respond?
Is like a little bell like right in front of the camera.
That would be funny.
Time's up. 15 seconds left.
Mom has, I don't know if you still have them, Mom, but all of those like antique bells. That would be very on trend or on theme. Okay, let's see how this is feeling. This is starting to cool off a bit, so that's good.
Snap.
Just snap my fingers.
Maybe just like.
And I feel a little more offended by the
snap.
snapping.
Yeah, what would you?
I'd be like, oh shoot.
We gotta make sure that Ainsley, doesn't get offended by what I do.
Give me anxiety.
All right, let's bring that. You obviously don't have to do this with a hammer, but I just want you guys to be able to see it properly. Okay, I'm gonna do the lapis. Let's see, I'll move this out of the way. Maybe I'll put the paint down there in the corner so we can see it better.
Oh, that's cool.
Lapis, and then
Your mom said Logan brought her a cowbell from Germany.
cowbell. That'd be
How are you
so
with
loud. That'd
cowbells?
be amazing.
Only if we do the dink, 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 dink.
Don't fear the reaper.
Don't fear the reaper cowbell.
Best song ever.
More cowbell. Isn't that like a Saturday Night Live skit?
Yeah, their Blue Oyster Cult is the song they're doing.
Yeah. I used to have that on repeat when I was around, a little younger than Ainsley.
Yeah, I love that song.
My pre-married, pre-kids days.
I was way younger than me.
It's like
I
those.
mean, I don't know. I think that everybody stays a little younger.
My
longer.
mom already had like 2 kids at my almost my age. Like once I turn 24, she'll have had like 2 kids, I think.
Maybe.
Okay, watch how magical this is. Like just a really light, almost like buff you can do. And it just brings all of those colors and it just like makes them more muted. Since they're opposites on the color spectrum, it makes them mute and then kind of just come out in the prettiest ways.
This is the magic step, right?
Yeah, and
Like
then
the glazing.
probably just wipe a bit off while it's still wet.
Really, this could be done if you don't have this piece. The maiden, the fairy in the flower, you could do it
Yeah,
in that one.
totally.
Because I love this color combo.
Yeah,
when I saw it, I was just obsessed.
As long as it is, and I'm gonna add a little more white gold, so I would say less lapis than white gold. Not 1-to-1, but probably like 3-to-1. Being 3 being the white gold.
I agree. Renee says that's amazing.
That color,
Yeah.
isn't it so pretty?
So gorgeous.
So muted and just mystical. Just love it. And then you can rub off however you want to do it. And then Mom had a great technique with specifically with our plated pieces. Instead of using which maybe you could grab it. It's off of the white stand by the windowsill. Just the big acetone jug.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
if you want to relief instead of...
Yeah, you can totally leave it like this if you love that heavy paint look, but I'm also going to relief it, quote unquote, with acetone.
So, and you do that because you don't want to disturb the plated
Exactly.
finish.
Yeah, we don't want to chip off the plating. Thank you.
It's like Cindy said, that made a magical difference, and it's like that aha moment, right?
Oh, yes. And
like
that
surprise reveal at the end.
totally. That was thanks to Mom, because I was just going to leave it all in the pink tones, and she was like, I don't know, let's add some of this to it. Then it just turned into magic, which happens a lot when we're working on things together. Okay, I've got my acetone, and I'm just going to, you can buff off wherever, like I want to take off a little bit of that corally. And if it takes off, which I'm noticing it's taking off a bit much of that color, so I may just add a little bit back more.
I'm curious because we were having this conversation the other day to the ladies. What are you guys, starters or finishers? Because your mom and you said that you guys like to finish pieces,
Oh yeah.
and I said that I like to start pieces. So which would you guys prefer? Would you prefer to have a piece started, or would you prefer to start it yourself and have someone else finish it?
I'm a finisher. It sounds so like
I like
superhero,
the whole
like-
process, but
Punisher.
But if you had
I'm a
to pick it,
finisher.
if you had to pick one
Yeah.
side,
Finish you. Yeah, I'm a
I
finisher
would say
for sure.
finish for sure. Yeah, I like the end result a lot.
see, I like the idea part of it, and then more, like creating the concept.
Uh-huh.
Okay, guys, do you see that color in the bottom? That is just so pretty. So yeah, the 3 parts of the white gold, just a bit of that lapis. Isn't that just the prettiest ever? That's like the periwinkle gorgeousness that we're swiping over the top.
Linda and Chris say starter. Peggy says I need to do the whole thing.
I love it.
Yeah, that's such a pretty color, though, that combination.
Yes, love it.
It's not quite mermaid fin. It's not quite,
Yeah, it's much more muted than that.
yeah.
Okay. Hopefully you guys love that. I do. I think it's literally perfect. Oh my gosh. Whoops. So yeah, that's that. And if we still have time at the end, I'll try and get to that oval that my mom did. But if not, well, I don't know.
Too bad.
Hopefully the explanation worked good enough. But Ains,
Too
do you want
bad,
me to
so
clean
sad.
this up at all for you?
It's
before?
fine because it's gonna be a mess.
Okay.
It's gonna get messy.
I'll try and get rid
real
of
messy.
Buckle up, ladies.
try and get rid of some of the junk.
I'm excited for this one. These are turned out so stinking gorgeous.
I will move these and then put some of the examples
was
in the
gonna-
top though for you.
I was gonna grab that, this inspiration piece.
You know what we should do?
Oh yeah.
And
We
show
have like, you know
can
how
do
we
it too
have
if you
our
You wanna just put that
DIY
on the screen.
with Vintaj group.
Yeah,
I feel like we should do challenges for people
Oh,
to
yeah.
post to.
definitely.
Where we're like, this is the week's challenge, or like,
Yes.
this week, like create something with resin or create something with this theme.
That would be so
This is
smart.
our
Does
hand.
that sound fun to you guys? Would you like to do that? Should we create challenges for you?
So this is our hand soap rock.
I know.
I used to sell these at the store and they're
I
amazing.
need to find them again. I want them for my house.
Yeah, I know, they're amazing.
But the colors in this one particular are just so pretty. It kind of inspired this paint set.
Maybe we'll leave a bit of it in the top corner. There, that's a pretty
Candy
section.
says so beautiful, and I love the idea of gluing on cup chain. Yeah, it's great for adding like one little jewel because it's finished, or a whole line of them. I love the way she did that in the design inspiration.
Alright. Okay, guys, and I want to show you guys, this is the pearl. I have two of these. Maybe this is it. Yeah, these are the pearls, actually, which we didn't have earlier. I had to go look around the office to find them. So we will be doing this kind of look as well with the more resiny look. So it's slick finish versus the more, slightly more matte finish, not as much resin as I used here. Okay. I am going to roll up my sleeves. I would encourage
Put on an
you.
apron, right?
You roll up your sleeves, put on an apron. This is not a clean process. Oh, also, this is what our piece from earlier looks like dry now. Let me zoom in for a second.
Oh, do you want to change to this bead pack?
Yes, I will
And
do
do you
that.
need more paper towel seams? Or you're fine without them?
I should be fine without them. It's just mostly the process that's messy, but doesn't require a lot of cleaning or dabbing.
Okay.
That is now up there. Move all our stubs out of the way. And so we're going to choose whatever colors we want to put on here. We can exclude some colors from our set. This one I'm not going to do any green with, so I'm going to start out with this pile, and I might add green later. But zooming out, because we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful splash of color going right on the mat. That's lapis.
Peggy must be reading
This
into your voice.
white gold.
She said Ains means business.
Yeah. This white gold, I am telling you, this is the star of the show out of all of the paints. What it does for these pieces is amazing. So we're adding gorgeous amount of white gold.
Personality B comes out.
And then the neon coral is going to go right in here. And I try to pair the colors where I think that they kind of blend the best. So I'm going to keep our neon coral over here. And then I'm going to go in with our petalite over by the neon coral because they're very complementary. And then our iridescent violet I'm putting over here and here. And I'm going to go in with our iridescent aqua over by this blue here. Over here. Lots of that magicness. And so far I am only excluding the emerald, and I'm also gonna take a hint of dragon's eye right along the edge here. And you can swirl this around. I'm not actually going to. Can you get me a long head pin actually? Because I do.
Actually use the
Oh,
ones
I can
from
use
the,
these?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
use those. Those are, remember, those are for sale today too.
I just didn't want to mess it up in case
It's
we
fine.
showed it again.
It's
Okay.
fine. You can pop it on screen too, like while you're using it, just to remind people
So
that we
I'm
have
gonna
those.
start with this thick boy of a bead here. And we're just going to string it on here. This is just gonna help us roll our piece. And I'm straight up just rolling her through. Roll her through just like that. And then I'm gonna tilt it. Try and get her completely covered.
Did you glue it first, like
No.
Mom did?
No, I didn't glue mine at all. I just rolled it and then did it afterwards. Now, some of the pieces are kind of hard to get on the edges, so what I can do here is just go like this, right over top of it. And it creates a really cool effect when you do that little drippy. I want a little bit more of this color, so I'm just gonna drip drop there. That's looking pretty covered. Now all I'm gonna do now is take my paper towel. I'm not really blotting it or anything. I'm just popping these bubbles. And then I'm soaking up whatever's dripping down on the bottom. Okay. That is looking amazing. And we're gonna now just hit it with our heat tool. Or our heat gun, not our heat tool, but.
Yeah, I think they do call it a heat tool actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
And then we're just gonna dry this. I'm rolling it while I dry it to just get all the sides. We're getting some really gorgeous cracks in there. You can see with the white gold. That should be dry now. And look at how amazing that looks. Now, we want to put resin on this because this is a plastic bead, right? This bead is,
just
regular plastic.
Just like a,
And if you guys have
costume
like
pearl.
put it on plastic before, it doesn't quite stick as well. It's more prone to chipping than if it was metal. It's not going to do that, but for this kind of thing. So we do want to seal this in here. It will stick to the resin. The resin is perfectly fine. So if we want more and we want that matte finish, we would base it out with our resin, then paint over top of it, if that makes sense. But I'm going for more of this super glossy, globby finish because I just like the way that looks. And yeah, so that's why I'm doing the resin.
Peggy says, I can
last.
see doing this technique at the holidays on ornaments. It would be great for that, I think.
Absolutely. So I'm just putting some globs on here. If I turn it, it's gonna start dripping around it. That is perfect because we want it to get it all around it. And I'm gonna try and stay away from our edges because I don't wanna seal it up to the head pin. So thinly coating around it. Just spreading it out.
Kind of magnifies your colors too, which is cool.
It does. Not too much on those edges there. But we do want to make sure she's nice and sealed in. Now, if you want to retain the shape of your bead, when you are curing it, you do need to be spinning it. I like the globby look. I'm going for the globby look, so I don't need to do that because if it has a little bump, that's perfect. That's what I'm going for. But if you do not want that, you need to be spinning it while you are curing.
It depends on how Baroque you want your
Yes, absolutely.
piece. Do you want it symmetrical or? Personally, I like the lumps and bumps, but.
So we are just going to sit here. You can see my hand. I'm just holding it still, but if you weren't, we would just be twisting it with our fingers and rolling it back and forth to keep that resin from pooling at the bottom.
I love how much like fire and glow these pieces have in them.
Almost done here.
Looks
5
like Barbara's
seconds.
just joining us. Hello, Barbara.
Okay. It's still just slightly wet, but that doesn't matter because I'm going to be curing it some more. And I'm going to start my... Sorry. I'm going to start my globby process. So I am just doing big chunks resin and globbing it on there wherever I feel prompted to. Doesn't matter if it's messy. That is what I am going for.
Do you want me to grab your UV lamp behind you? Get it ready?
I got
You
it.
got it? Okay.
Yeah. And cure again. This time I'm going to do 90 seconds.
So Lisa says, I enjoy using your silicone brush line to spread resin. It wipes right off.
Absolutely, because if you do it to the bristle brushes, that's gone, so.
I think Peggy said you could kind of, if you accidentally use it that way, recover it with alcohol if you get it before it cures. But yes, the silicone ones are designed to wipe right off, which is awesome.
Barbara has a question. Says I would like to purchase paints or stain, but not sure of the differences.
Okay, the difference between the paint and the stains.
One is thin bodied and
Yes.
one is very opaque. So if you want the super opaque, you're going to get the paint. If you don't want that, you want more translucent and more blendy. The stains are really great for mixing processes. Having that will add a lot of dimension to it. So it's just thinner bodied, thinner layers. It's not going to be as pigmented.
Think of the stain like a patina and think of the paint like an enamel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In fact, like when we go to the one and done line, that's how we are going to be labeling them. So
You can see right here, because I was not doing the twisting, I have this, one sec, I have this glob here. I want that. I like that. I'm going to add a few more. I'm not going to spread it this time, just going to do a single glob like that.
which bead shape should we do next? I like that kind of like Saturn one with all of the rings. That one's really cool.
Oh, we want to do this one?
Yeah, I think so. I think that one's cool.
Does anybody else want to see anything else specifically, just so we know?
I'll give him a minute to
Catch
answer.
up.
Peggy says, you should just know that in the end, you'll end up purchasing both. Yes, they're both so great and essential. And Ainsley, we still are running till the end of the week. An amazing deal on the complete sets. Not very many people have taken advantage of it yet. So if you either don't have all the colors yet, or just want to stock up, there's a special price on each of the complete sets. They're only $125 right now, which is an insane savings. Plus you get 3 free accessories, paint accessories. So either brush, silicone mat, or trays. So you can choose 3 free products. So it's a really great deal at vintage.com. Stock up on your paints, ladies. Even if you have all of the colors, it's a great way to save.
So I'm just going to actually accidentally resin this to it. Oh wait, no, there it goes. It's just a little bent. That's why.
Yes, Barbara, it is, isn't it? She said the deal is crazy good, and it is. Sometimes we, between departments when we're coming up with things, we kind of give each other side eye. Like, are you sure you want to give that good of a deal? But we love sharing with you guys.
So we're gonna do this one next, and I'm going to roll.
Are you gonna add some colors like iridescent violet in there, or maybe some more emerald?
There is iridescent violet already in there, but I'm just gonna go over the top of this one,
With a different accent color.
and drip it down.
Did you do anything with the Art Deco piece in the mix? We haven't gone over the design mixes yet. We'll probably just do a layout and describe what could be done with that. Carrie was asking about the design mixes, which we haven't really dumped those out yet, right?
So now that I have this, I'm not gonna drip yet. I'm just gonna actually try and dry this quickly. And so these beads are clay. It's not one of the pearls, so it doesn't matter as much. You don't need to base it out with resin or anything like that because it is clay, so it's actually going to absorb the paint properly and it's not going to chip off. It's a natural material, so things work on the natural materials. Now that I've done that, I'm actually going to drip down like so.
So Anne is asking if this is resin. So we are using our ultimate paints as the pigments, and then we're also using UV resin to create dimension and magnify the colors. Connie is asking if we know what the master class is tomorrow.
Whose is it tomorrow?
Mine.
What you teaching, Soy?
I was gonna do. It's been a long time since we've done the marble medium.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna do the marbling pattern on leather.
I can't wait to see your take on it, because I feel like you have a really unique sense of color too. That's kind of your own brand. Really inspiring. Plus, I love the marbling on leather.
Yeah,
That's
it
cool.
looks really, really good on leather. So yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow.
Cool. So if you guys could hear Sawyer, he's doing marble medium or marbling effects on leather for the master class. I know, Renee. She said this is a very full group for today. You guys could probably have done 2 days with it.
Absolutely.
We really packed in the inspo today.
We just were very inspired, so this is what happens when we're super inspired. And I'm telling you, this is messy. It's literally dripping down my hands.
Messy in the best way possible, right?
Absolutely. I'm just going to cure this side in, this top side, and then I'm going to do the bottom side just because the shape is a little weird. And then I'm gonna do this other side now. Oopsie. Apparently that side wanted more paint.
Peggy said, it's a spaceship. It kind of does feel that way, doesn't it?
It does.
I think
With
it
all our
really
alien talk.
transforms when you put like the beads on the end and do the wrapped loop. It becomes like...
I gave up. I'm just doing this with my hands. And then I'm gonna do this side now.
So Debbie, the best way to find past master classes is to, you can look through by date and title. And if you're looking for a specific one, like if you're interested in filigree or riveting, a lot of times the technique name is in the title, so you can do a keyword search on the group. A couple people, like I feel like Lisa and a couple of other people have some good tips if you look at the chats on how to search through there the best.
It's running away from me.
You think it would help if this was on a head pin? Like
I think so. I think that's why she did that.
Yeah.
It's seeming like that's why she did that.
I think
But,
so.
you know, this is still coming out cool, so it's
It
okay.
is, right.
What I'm actually
You could
gonna
show,
do
like-
now, though, is can you give me a silicone brush? Because I'm gonna do a nice thin layer of resin on this, and then I'm gonna hit it with some more iridescence. But
Yes, yeah, I can grab you one of those. Do we have... This one's a little dirty, but there you go. I'll find a couple more.
put this back on here. I'm going to just be spreading this resin along here with the silicone brush.
Here's a little one too, if you need a finer tip.
Oops. Dang it. Keep doing this, whatever.
So did she just Loctite this onto the end like this? Like put the bead down, Loctite it?
I think
and
she
then you
might
can
have.
just,
She might have.
go.
She either Loctite it or she might have resined it to it,
yeah.
like inside of there.
But I'll let you show, I'll prep that so you can show them like the easier way to prep it.
So I'm just gonna be moving this one around, so you can see I'm turning my hand. Try and prevent it from globbing up on me and pooling into one spot.
Peggy says Loctite.
Oh, did you say Loctite too? Or that might have been Wendy.
And Wendy also says Loctite, so. She clarified. Do we have some of that around here? I mean, I know we do, but
Top shelf.
top
On the
shelf. All right. See, I wasn't here when she was doing that, so I didn't know that she glued it on, but that's smart. That's one of those big brain moments, right?
It's running away from me, guys. It does not like me today.
Run away, little bead. Once that's kind of cured, you probably could do that little trick also to finish it out,
Mm-hmm.
right, before putting more on it. Save yourself some grief. I just love all of the variety that you can get with this color combination.
This is still wet, so we are going to keep doing this until it is not wet.
Oh, that's smart. So Lisa said, if I want big hole beads to center up on the wire or pin, I insert small seed beads into the opening and a dab of Loctite.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say earlier to you guys, because we were just, Maki was saying how she collabed on the pendants, and I've done a lot of collabing with her as well.
Yeah.
That I would really, if you guys have friends who also do jewelry in your area, collab with them. Like, do a piece with them, work with them. It is a really great experience to do. You know, you can't replicate that kind of thing with just design is so much different when you're working with somebody else. It can just really like change your perspective, open you up to new possibilities, and a lot of times these pieces come out way better when there's multiple people involved. So I'd really encourage you guys to like try that out if you haven't already.
Awesome. How's that looking?
Yeah, that feels more cured now. I also cured so much resin to my fingers, so I am insulated.
You're part of the art now.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I'm getting it to peel off. That feels so much better without it on there.
How is that looking on your end, Soy?
How's what, the line?
Yeah.
It's looking good.
Okay. I think my connection here is just a little.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
Okay, perfect.
On mine.
Now I'm just going to go over with our iridescents to really get some shine.
I thought we were going to put that on the head pin, make your life a little easier.
I forgot.
Are
I was too excited for the iridescence.
are you trying to be on the top down view too? Ins,
What?
you might need to
Yep.
put it,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Do need to
Change
switch it.
screens.
Thank you for that. And I'm actually just going to let that sit this time. Okay. We'll do the next one with the head pin. It'll probably be way easier and way less messy. But I did tell you this was messy, so.
I've been warned.
You were warned.
Hey, every time I paint, it gets messy, so just saying.
Every time I do anything, it gets messy.
So it's like every time I eat.
Especially
Every time I breathe.
Yeah, every time I breathe. No, every time I cook, I have a habit of just being like, oh yeah, I'll use this bowl and this pot and this pan, and I'm just like, then I eat all my food, and I'm like, I'm way too tired to do any dishes. 'Cause
How
it's
do
too
you
much.
get Vintaj on Instagram? As long as you have an Instagram account, all you have to do is you go to the search area and type in, it's Vintaj Co, right?
Yeah, at Vintaj
Vintajco, and search that. It should either pop up right away, or you can click into users/profiles and you'll find it under there. You'll see our logo, and that's just how you will be able to see that.
We're usually pretty good at posting most content to both Instagram and our regular Facebook pages, and tutorial type things we'll put on DIY with Vintaj, so you can go to that group as well.
Okay. I am doing the Loctite process because I'm gonna love myself more. All I'm doing is I'm just gonna put a nice generous amount there. Try and get it on the inside of this.
I think as long as it sticks to the bead and the bead stuck to the end, that should do it. Wendy, feel free to give us any tips you got there on how you did this portion of it. Any trade secrets on applying the glue to it?
I'm just gonna glob it at this end here and feed this bead through.
I think you might need a fresh pool of paint for this one.
Yeah.
Look now your nails are nebula too.
No, I was noticing one of them came out like, where's this one? This thumbnail has a full nebula on it. It's full, matching with our pools here. I'm gonna have to clean up my nails after this, and my hands a lot. Cause it is a mess.
Sensory wise, I really like the feel of what I'm working on, so I have a hard time using gloves for really anything. But I feel like some people really would embrace wearing gloves because of the opposite reason, because they don't like feeling what they're working on, right?
I think I would prefer gloves for this process specifically.
Or just like those fingertip ones, right, where you just put it on the end of your hands.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. I can hold that for you if you want to put down a new paint pool.
Mm-hmm.
Let it, while it's drying there for you. Oh yeah, this is going to work great.
So I am going to start with the green and then the blue. And then I'm gonna do some.
Do you find that it's helpful? Do you find it helpful to start with like color inspiration that you're trying to achieve?
Yes.
When you're creating a new mix?
Swirl that around. Actually want to do a little bit more blue here on this side. And
since you're leaning a little bit more forward, I'm going to move this.
Well, I'm going to set up in just 2 seconds here.
I'm just going to move this down just a little bit. That's looking really pretty under there. It's matching the soapstone, the soap rock.
Give me 2 seconds and I'll take that back. Okay.
So pretty.
This is dry enough now that it's not gonna move. This is gonna be way easier to do this one, because I can just go like this. I can just actually roll it. The ones that have like that weird shape are a lot harder to achieve. This is dry now, but we can kind of see how we're getting that like nebula feeling to it. And now I'm just going to turn this light off that's in the background. I keep accidentally tapping with my wrist. And then I'm just going to do the little drips. Look how amazing that is. And then our other iridescent over here. Maybe just dab and dab. And if you want to move your resin around, you can totally do that with a paper towel too, because I'm just going to pop these bubbles and spread it out a little bit as I pop them. I want to get a nice concentrated little iridescent violet right in there.
Little shot of color.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the same thing over here with our.
So you could really like this one's very leaning very blue green.
Yes, that's my goal. So if you can get really cool like paint stuff going on if you're leaving out colors too, because they're just these are very compatible colors. Just gonna hit this with the heat tool, really lock that in there, and I might go in with some more strokes of other colors. This is way easier, guys. Just to let you know, definitely do this. I should have done this.
Oh, Massey's saying, she's given us a little quiz here, a little assignment. What has everyone's favorite technique of the day been? Beads, Star Maiden, or Ainsley's rivet necklace piece? That's a tough call. I don't know if everybody could hear that, but if you could see Massey's comment, she's asking what everyone's favorite technique has been today. Is it the beads, the riveting pendant, or like the Star Maiden? What's your favorite thing?
I'm just doing more of the iridescents because they're the
Wendy
best
says
ever.
that's why we have master classes, LOL. So you can get all the big brain tips, right?
Actually, I'm just kind of dabbing this with my finger because why not? And then I'm going to hit it with the gun again.
Stephanie says all of it.
Good choice.
All of the above. A, B, C, or D, all of the above. Ooh, I love the way this one's looking.
And then I want to finish out a little bit of our color here. Just give me a second to clear this tip. I'm actually just going to take this, put some on my mat. This is just lapis. I'm using the silicone brush and picking it up. And I just want to cover up this little area, so I'm just brushing that on there just to get a nice finished look here. We'll dab that in there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here and any little spots that I see that I want more coverage on. Just stroke that in there into the grooves. This piece does have a lot of texture, so if you rub the paint into the grooves there, it's going to look really cool. Give it some extra dimension.
People have been talking about how you can get spots on your hands from too much UV, right? So if you want to avoid that, wear gloves under the UV light. But
right.
Also, I was telling Ainsley, I recently bought a kojic acid soap bar. I got it at TJ Maxx, but it has really faded the ones that have started to develop on my hands. And I think everybody's different with their pigment. I have so little, as it is too, so it works pretty fast on me. So just a little tip, if you don't like the pesky spots, kojic acid's really great. Aww, that's awesome. Stephanie said this live was jam-packed with oodles of great techniques. I just about filled up my legal pad with notes. Yeah, and I love the info too, Sky Maiden demo that Mackie did, because it showed, like someone said, I've never seen the acetone tip before, so.
So we
Get
can
more
just
knowledge.
leave this one like this. You don't have to do the resin, but I'm just gonna do a very thin layer of resin on this guy. I don't want a ton, I don't want it to be super shiny, but we're just gonna do very thin. And I'm spreading this out with my silicone brush here. Just really locking that in. It's gonna help bring out just a tiny bit of shine, but not so much that we are getting overly shiny.
Feel like I'm zoning out to your demo right now. It's getting quiet in here.
It's the Bob Ross style.
It's getting quiet and
Happy little trees.
happy little beads.
All we need is a pet squirrel.
I'm gonna do our little spinning technique. This is way easier to do the spinning with. You can see me now. I'm doing spinning with my fingers. Spinning, 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 keeping it nice and even. Once you get about halfway through, it's not really gonna do that pooling anymore, but yes.
Hey, so Ainsley mentioned earlier, and I don't want to gloss over it, having some challenges on DIY with Vintaj. What would be like some of the first ones that you guys would want to participate in as far as a design challenge?
That is a great
Any
question.
ideas that you guys would like to see us put out there for a challenge?
That you guys can post about once you do it.
Yeah, because I think it would be fun to incorporate ones that are ideas from the group as well.
Absolutely.
So these the beads that are some of our spacer beads. I can see if I can find the number, but they are, I think that is, I'm not sure if we still carry this right now, but it's BD232. Can check. But you can really use any brass.
And if we want this to be more matte, we're just gonna use our finger before it's completely
I know it's
locked
late, but
in.
Peggy was asking to move up in the screen a little bit. That's probably from a while ago.
But yeah, it's definitely from a while ago.
Ooh, Lori says cutting up stuff like Orion does. So maybe like designs featuring sheared components. That's cool.
So here is our finished result for this one. Wow, that was so much faster. Who would have known? Clearly Wendy knew. And not me.
Well, she made all these gorgeous inspo beads too. I think we should show like the side by side of the before and after of the beads, just to show.
So this is what she did with hers, and this is mine. I did more of the blues. She had more of those pinks and greens together and less of that blue there. I think I want to do one more bead with that proper technique what would everybody like to see out of our cluster here?
Looks like we have a question.
Here's that other
from
one we did.
Sherry
Uh-huh.
asking if we're using the faceted beads from Vintaj.
Yeah, so it's BD232, and I'm trying to figure out if, yep, that is the product for sure. I'm just gonna copy it and put it in there.
What bead would we like to see, guys?
You make that decision, Andrews, or is this first person to pop up?
Yeah, first person to pop up gets the choice. If they fish.
Fish.
I don't have a fish one over here.
Here.
Is there not?
They vary a little bit. It's either the fish or the large oval. So you'll either get, they're pretty much, the kits are the same, but you'll either get this, like this one,
Or this
or
green.
that one. That's the difference in in one of the sets. So I'm
Where
gonna
did
make sure
those
it's
head
Can
pins
you
go?
find that product, Jean?
right here. What's that? Yeah. It helped that the tray was labeled
Oh yeah.
that we pulled it from, and we do still carry them. So if you want to use that exact bead that we're using here, that's what it is. So, oh, looks like we've got a couple of ideas. Another one. Start with your ugliest beads you've never used and do today's techniques. That would be a great challenge. Do you not think you already challenge us? Yes, definitely.
We
just
do.
wanna share.
We
wanna
do. We
create.
want to see you guys challenge yourselves, though. We want to see the results.
Cindy says, I want the fish, lol. It's great, isn't it?
Here, do you want to hold this for a second? I need to make sure the iPad is plugged
Sure.
in here. We're doing one of our marathon labs because we have so many techniques
There's
today.
a lot
Turn on-
to
you
share
might wanna
today.
Turn on the computer.
It wasn't about that. It was just turned the wrong way because the charger is sensitive.
Oh, I see.
So if it's not plugged in the right direction, it's not actually charging.
That makes sense.
Okay, guys, I consistently break chargers.
Okay, I can hold that again.
Consistently break them because I use my phone plugged in because I forget to charge it. Who else does that?
I use my phone plugged in all the time. But my chargers don't break.
Yeah, mine, to be fair, it lasted like 3 years before it broke.
Okay,
So
that's
that-
not you break chargers. That's just like, it's like the
That's 'cause
lifespan.
it wasn't a cheap one. Now the cheap ones, it only lasted 3 months.
Oh yeah, cheap ones don't last at all. Not quite glued in yet. Wait a little bit here. Loctite is not instant, unfortunately, like our paints.
Takes a minute.
Yeah.
But it's worth the wait to save in the effort that it saves you. Here, you can do your pool. I'll
Guys,
hold that for you.
guys, wait. This
your
is
next
so great idea. I have the best idea ever. If we take the fish, and this would be so cute if you found like a little flat back and glued it right in the eye. Don't tell me that wouldn't be so cute.
That would be cute if you want it to remain looking like a fish, right?
So I'm gonna go in with the opposite colors now.
Ooh, this is gonna be more red leaning one.
Yeah.
I feel like this needs a little bit more glue on the ends. I'm gonna
Go ahead.
glue this because I think that because this one is heavy, this bead is honkin' big. It's chunky.
Do a little
I don't
bit
know
of
if that's
this.
Wendy, if she had any special techniques when she was doing this one to get it to really stay. I'm just being a little generous with the the glue. So you might have a little bit extra globbing here, but that's for a reason. This guy is heavy. Ooh. I got Loctite all over my fingers and then spend the rest of the day trying to get it up. Yes. I feel you. We're all in the same boat right now.
Oh, is she talking about Loctite on the fingers?
Yes.
I took a bath the other day. I had Loctite all over my fingers. I just stayed in the bath long enough that it peeled right off.
You just soaked it
So
off.
if you soak your hands in water, it will come right off.
Interesting. That's a good tip. You
I
just have to
recommend
submerge
that
them for a while.
It's
Warm.
a good idea too.
But
Just put your hand in a bowl of water.
In a bowl of water.
overnight.
And then when you put it's like gets cold and you like move your hand out of it, you finally shift in your sleep and you put it like near your face, you're gonna like wake up.
The joke is that's supposed to make you pee your pants.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You didn't grow up in a prank household, so you don't know.
That's because I feel like Dad was more strict and he didn't prank us.
Yeah.
Actually, we pranked Dad though.
Yeah.
It was scary.
Wait, what prank are you talking about?
We would take ice cubes and put them down the back of his shirt and we would sprint for our lives because it would make him so mad.
That's funny. That's what you call like courage.
It really was.
Oh man.
That was like death wish. Oh yeah, that totally did it. Now that it has like the thicker amount. And I'm just gonna go like this.
Just be somewhat careful with it because it's.
I know I am.
Yeah. Still setting up, but I just really stuck a lot of Loctite on there that time. Janet says I have to use a file to sand it off. Oh, the Loctite, yeah. That's smart. You
Okay,
can get
I
it
dumped
broken
that in
down
there.
like
Now I'm
that,
gonna
yeah.
start our little drip process to
Sometimes
cover
I
up the
forget what
spots
we're
that
talking about.
go in.
So then will you go in with the blues and other like blues and greens on top of this after you've gotten that base on?
I could, but I'm really liking these colors, so I'm gonna keep the colors for the most part. Not completely. I do the iridescent aqua though. I do like that, like the way
Mackie,
that
I don't
pulls in
I
there.
don't think Mackie is predisposed to age spots like we are. My my Aunt June and my dad had them the worst, and that's exactly the skin that I have. So I don't feel like you're gonna get them either, Ainsley, because your dad doesn't have them at all.
Yeah, I probably won't.
I don't think any of you guys. Dallin probably will. 'Cause
Dallin
he's got my
definitely
skin.
will. Yes.
But I feel like it would suit him though, right? Like it
He
would-
has freckles though, so you wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to tell
it
very
wouldn't,
much.
Like, look different.
Hitting this with the heat tool, then we're gonna go back in with our super shimmery goodness.
So Cindy says, yes, soap and hot water really work eventually, but I have to use fingernail polish remover to unglue my fingers when I accidentally glue them together.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, I do, so I use the kojic acid, but I'm not super bent out of shape about spots either.
I don't even notice it. I feel like a lot of those kinds of things people just only notice on themselves.
I think so too. And I think we're getting away from being so hypercritical, like as a society, of things that come with age naturally. And I'm happy for that because I'm way more comfortable in my skin than I was 10 years ago, you know? And I've got a lot more.
So I just did that same thing where I just took the iridescence, struck it on there, and I dabbed it in there.
Mackie, is saying, can Ainsley center her hands a little bit more while applying the paint?
Sure thing, girl. I was just noticing that I was off.
It's definitely a skill that you gotta work it when it's something that's so dynamic.
And then I'm gonna do this other side, same thing. Just dripping and tapping that in there. And same thing with the violet. Dripping and tapping. I'm gonna hit it with the gun.
Someone was asking earlier about the bead mixes. I'm gonna get those laid out for you quickly.
So look how shimmery this fish is becoming. And now I'm really liking this like tapping technique. So I'm gonna do a little pool of lapis. I'm actually just gonna dip my finger into. Here, you see this? Just get some of that off.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna tap that in there. Wipe my finger off here. And tap it a bit in. That was really warm, so it's not gonna blend as much because the piece is warm. But I like that kind of fun, adding this dimension here. So we just added all that color. Look at that, guys. That's so cool. Now, this is what it started with, and this is just the tapping that blue on there, that lapis. Just do this little tapping, really just bringing out the details.
Is the fish plastic? It is not. It's
Nope.
ceramic.
This
Most
is-
of the beads in this kit are large ceramic beads. There's also a few bonus like pearls and things that we threw in there because they're fun just to experiment with.
Just hit this with the heat tool one more time. Look at that. Can you actually get me a flat back of any color? Because I totally want to do that. I want to do that so badly. Just two of them. Two flat
I will
backs.
see if I can find one for you.
Look how fun that is, though. And it's just really great experience using your fingers, actually. I just got over it because I was a mess anyway. So it's just like, you know what? Actually, let's just do it.
Paint all the time for sure.
Thank you. Ooh, that's going to look really good. Just taking Loctite and doing a little drops there.
Renee says, Ainsley, I bet you were a finger painting queen in grade school.
Probably.
She was like super detail oriented. Like she would draw like super advanced for her age when she was little.
Like
putting
my
in
birds.
things that people wouldn't notice. Yeah. Details that kids wouldn't notice.
Just gonna do that to the other side too because it's just fun and why not? So if you
were
guys
not
have
fast
flatbacks,
about it though.
No.
Say that much.
No. Oops, there goes that one. She drowned in the pool. Oh, they're running away from me. My fingers aren't that sticky anymore. There we go. Totally optional, but I think it's cute. If you have some, why not? I think I'm keeping this one. Nobody gets this. I'm gonna put it on my bag or something.
Yeah, somebody was saying they would be really cute bag charms.
Yeah, definitely.
So now that you're done with that one, let's let that dry and scoot your paints off so we can really quick do a spread out description of our two mixes.
Do you wanna do the layouts for yours? And I'm gonna use the restroom really quickly.
Oh, sure. Okay. Don't. Yeah. Just excuse how rough I'm looking. I've been sick.
She's full of it. And everybody was wanting you to be on camera more last week when you weren't even here.
And she's fishing.
She is.
I am not.
Fishing is the topic of the day.
Oh no, you're so
I
beautiful.
am not.
No. I'm just a travesty.
Wow, you woke up like that? That's crazy.
Okay, let me get used to this. I did get Loctite on my fingers, those guys. Look at that. Overage of Loctite. Okay, so wait. How do you put up the mixes? Because I need to do that.
I can come up with that.
Is it the little, like, Carter symbol over here? I never do this part. I'll have to make Sawyer come back and help me.
Yeah.
Help me be techie.
I think it is. You go
That
into
one?
there
Okay,
and then
perfect.
you just scroll through and highlight whatever one.
So this one is the North Star Design Mix. So this has got a really gorgeous deco piece in it, which I think I would use a resin technique in each of these. And that's really great for just putting your, take a head pin or the end of your brush and fill in those little divots, or you could find rhinestones as well if you wanted to. But I think that would make a really great necklace focal. You could punch holes also to create a chandelier piece out of it, which would be great. There's this nice crystal. This one's like a resin, so it's nice and light. This great floral piece, great focal. There's two of these. So these could make some really great an earring pair where you dangle seed beads. There's this little strand section that comes with of these vintage seed beads. So you could create swoops from those. But I would maybe take some chain to finish out the tops of them. And then I'm flying a little blind because I don't have any comments up here.
Oh, you can see you should be able to see the comments.
All right.
There's
a little thing. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, Carrie says that deco piece has my heart. It's great, isn't it?
Scroll up to everyone being like, "Oh, you're so pretty."
My hair is a little like worse for wear right now, just because of being sick. You know, don't you feel like everything gets like a little like?
Oh yeah. It's like.
But I feel like it's what Ainsley was saying before, is that you, like, nobody else ever notices. It's just your own self. Now, these were a great piece that Logan actually designed for us, and these are UV printed onto brass. So it gets the effect going. So you could really just elevate this by putting some resin and some iridescent colors on it to take the look even further. And this was originally like a beach, but I felt like it looked really nebula as well, which is why I chose to include them in this. And then there's this really great kind of inspiring grouping of beads that we've got here that you could make a bracelet or a choker out of, and then one of these clasps, which are like a hook and eye, which are really fantastic. And then some more focals that you could do resin in. We've done a class on this before where you just weld using resin, weld a jump ring on to the end to make another great resin pendant. This one's always a favorite. Yeah, Yes, Peggy says, I love it. Goes to show that a community is needed to ensure smoothness of operations. Definitely. Stephanie says, oh, that's very nice of you, Stephanie. I saved a little bit with my curling iron this morning, so it didn't look so crazy. Okay, so there's that one. Do you want me to go through this one as well? The silver one, or do you want to talk about your inspiration for it?
If you want to go through it, you can. I can do it too.
Okay, which do you guys want to hear Ainsley's inspo? Don't you guys love those half moon things? They're really cool. I feel like they can feel deco or they can feel global. Just really neat inspiration. So much potential, and Stephanie says yes, absolutely. Let me just move some of this stuff. How's this coming? How's that coming along drying?
Good. And since we dry, I'm just dropping a loop now.
All right. Well, I will spread these things out for you, and then I will let you talk about your inspo for it here in a second. Because you kind of came up with this color theme for the whole theme today, which I really love. It was funny because separately Ainsley was talking about had found that kind of color inspiration that she showed you guys earlier, and then Wendy was saying, oh, I think we should do something really like celestial for this week, and it just went really well together. Yep, with the colors that she was thinking. I was like, oh, that's so perfect. It goes together so well. So this is spread out here. If you want to talk, this I think is kind of the star of the show. This chunk of crystal here. It's like
switch over the design mix.
Oh yeah.
thing?
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for
some
being
people aren't buying this one thing.
Thanks for being my brain. You gotta be like multifaceted when you are here. So a couple of really great chunks of crystal here. This one really catches the light gorgeously. You get a lot of depth of color. I'm just gonna pop your comments back up so I can see. Oh, Renee, I feel a little dense, but I don't understand how that hook and eye works for this set. So you would from the earlier set, you would connect it like this, right? So you'd close down one of these ends, and then that would become your the one side of your necklace or bracelet, and then this side you would put maybe multiple strands that come off of it or terminating into one ring, and this becomes the eye of the set. So sorry, that's a little late question, but that's how that works.
Guys,
We also, all right,
let
you
me
ready?
show you this really quickly.
We can
Go full
swap.
screen.
We
Full
can
screen.
swap. Oh, okay. Wait, how do you do that?
You just press the one that's full screen.
Okay, so this
Just, yes.
one? All right.
Okay. We have the fish on my bag.
Oh,
Here's
that's
the
so
fishy.
perfect.
You want to hold this for a second? I
Yeah.
can zoom in. Look how cute.
Perfect moment there, right?
Full circle. Finished out. Adorable. Okay. you can put
Love
that
it.
down.
Okay. Do you guys like my hobo attire today? This is called a Pure Comfort. I didn't think I was going on screen.
Bubble sheet. But it looks like it's purposeful.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do that. Like, even when I'm throwing an extra layer on, there is a little bit of a thing in the back of my brain and going, okay, do these colors work
sure.
together or that type of thing.
Very free
But
people vibes.
Yeah.
Because of that.
all right. Your turn.
Okay.
You can. I spent a little bit of time talking about the crystal, but
Let's go. What I would do. This chunk with this because it's magical. Boom. Amazingness. These for earrings. Oh my gosh, it's running away from me.
Wendy says your hobo is my dressy. I don't know. I don't think I ever see Wendy wearing sweatpants, and I wear them frequently.
It's because she wears athletic pants that
Yeah.
are stretchy.
I know.
So they just look preppier.
Yeah.
These make amazing earrings as well. You could totally do these ones instead. Oh, yeah, look at that. That looks like they're meant to be together.
Oh, you're giving them the whole layout. Awesome.
What's
What's
to
the
us?
sauce?
Oh my gosh. In sync.
Wavelength. Corey says I'm wearing sweats right now. Yep, you know it. Especially like during the winter or when you just need a little extra layer of comfort, I feel like. And if you put something over it, like a scarf and a poncho, then you just don't even really pay attention to the sweats anymore. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. You're wearing sweats today too, Ainsley, but I feel like yours are super cute.
Mine are super cute, obviously. I only wear cute stuff. No, they're a flattering cut, so you don't notice it as much, and it's a good color, so it doesn't feel like sweatpants.
She said, I got my top half low, all I got you beat on the lower half. Wahaha. It's funny. I feel like that would look really pretty, that silver blank too, hammered.
It would look really pretty hammered or dip, or
Yeah.
maybe you're doing that. We're talking about that hammering technique where you use
Yeah.
the other piece of jewelry to hammer it in there, the texture in
Yeah.
there. That would look amazing on that. But that's a quick layout. There's some leftover beads here, but you guys get a little bit of a inspiration. Favorite out of all of this, these earrings right here. I want them.
Hey, you know what the secret to looking like you're trying is doing, or like effortless chic, is actually your accessories. So
You know what they say, okay? There's a thing online where they're like, if you want to look put together, you either have to have you need to have two of the three. Cute makeup, hair, or cute outfit.
Yeah.
But you always have to have cute hair. And I was like, because I hate doing my hair. I hate doing my hair.
I feel like
It's the
thing
worst thing. But if you want to look put together, you always have to have your hair done and either have a really cute outfit or good makeup.
I think you can phone in the hair and be just fine.
Depends on your look.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause
true.
Mine's like messy all the time, and so I just
But yours
embrace
looks
the
put
wave.
together with your wave, the way
Yeah.
your wave looks. Mine looks crazy. But also my hair is fried, so it looks a little crazier than.
Cindy says cute layout. All right,
Thank
well,
you.
I think we're ready to wrap it up.
I would say so too. We did a full almost 3 hours, guys. That was a marathon, but I hope everybody had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun, obviously, because we stayed on for so long and couldn't get our butts moving any quicker. But that happens. So we will see you guys next time, and we might start posting those challenges on our DIY with Vintaj, and we really want to see you guys post with that first one. We'll post it too, to take your ugly beads and transform them using our technique today. So super excited. Hope you guys post about that. We'll be looking and keeping an eye out.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Miss you, and so glad I'm back too.
Yes, absolutely. Have a great weekend, everybody. Lots of love. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.